moving packs, what's down bad for? Could barely see the sunshine behind cell doors. Knowing when I hit the bricks, I gotta sell more. Bust every day, grinding just to live. They call it rolling dice, I call it journalism. One put out and one put in. I make it rain, I'm the puddle man, bubbling from mud down. From dirty paint to clean money, how I switch flow. Live my life about money, 10K, I'll switch clothes. Compare me to Gucci, can't believe how the chicks flow. Busted zips down to 20s of the disco. When I look in your eyes and the night is the same. I don't know if it's right, but the light keeps me sane. I'm alone in the ride, getting high, switching lanes. I'm at home in the sky, drifting by paper planes. I never listen to opposition, I ain't never pay man in the competition. I've been getting too high on my thoughts, be spinning, but the mob is winning, I've been working. All this shit, it got me nervous, I don't feel like I deserve it. All the picture got me perfect, all these women I've been curving, they don't deserve it, but I've been focused now. Ain't no running out of demons, I speak with my demons, they begging me slow it down. But I'm a king with my golden crown, bitch, I'm a beast, I'm supposed to growl. When I'm asleep in the coldest ground, I know my team finna hold it down, over, out. When I look in your eyes and the night is the same. I don't know if it's right, but the light keeps me sane. I'm alone in the ride, getting high, switching lanes. I'm at home in the sky, drifting by paper planes. I don't know if it's right, but the light keeps me sane. I'm alone in the ride, getting high, switching lanes, switching lanes. Hello, hold on a minute. So, we're going to go to this tab. There's this Haley, which is sinister, asking for prayers on Prayer Garden's channel for her husband. I would like to know, Sinister, where the fuck you came from, why you're in this with Cher, why you're fucking with PG, why you tried to play games in my chat, why you said Laura had information on me and then refused to put it out. I'm done with your shit. Okay? But we're going to go to Prayer Garden, where we left off on not last live, but the live prior. And we're going to listen to about another hour, hopefully 40, 45 minutes of this. And then I'm going to jump off. I'm going home tonight. I'm going to go home late tonight because my son works tomorrow at noon. And we're having a hard time getting our times together in the morning. So he wouldn't be able to pick me up till midnight tomorrow. And I don't quite want to stay that long. So I'm going to go home tonight. And when I get home after I relax, if anybody's up at like 2 a.m, I'm probably going to come live again and go over another part of this and finish this first live tonight. Because we got to get to the second one and finish the one we started yesterday. I want to make sure we listen to every single word Marlena had to say. All right.
What they were using could possibly be something that didn't take much. They put it in their drink. They give them something to drink. It didn't take much, and it knocked them out. That's to my understandings.
Absolutely, I do believe that. And you know what? She should be in jail too because she knew about it and didn't say anything.
Well, I am, in my opinion, Summer became very, very sick there at the end.
Okay, so we ended, she was showing the 911 call that happened prior. I think it was even a year prior to Summer going missing, if I remember the date. I can't remember the date, but I remember it not being close to the time of Jose not being there. I haven't had a chance to go fact check that. However, I am going to go fact check this 911 call. I got to go find the original, who put the original out, or when it was let out, or even looking through my library because I may have it with the date. But I do not believe this was when Jose was there. And don't quote me on that. We'll find out for sure. But this is Per Gordon. From the last live we covered this. She was mixing the two 911 calls together as if it was one night. That is not the case. But she'll push it to you like that, the Antichrist. Oh, real quick, before I mute and we listen. Per Gordon, I'm on Euclid till midnight. Please tell your best friend, Beth, that you post prayers for her and her husband, and then she changes her name. Please tell your best friend, Beth, I'm still on her street. I would like her to come stalk me to my face. Till midnight. After that, maybe I'll be back next weekend. Who knows? I'm not scared of my hometown. Maybe I'll come back every weekend. Let Beth know that. I'm waiting.
Did you hear Summer screaming for her mom at first?
You know what? They sound like they are tore plumb about their frame.
Did you hear?
By me meaning that is they are drunk, twisted, something, and whatever was happening there, or whatever, and she's hollering, "Help me!" Candace sounded like she was about 4 sheets to the wind.
Oh, absolutely. And Jose said that Don had Summer. He went through. Don had Summer in the shower doing some, what Jose didn't want to go into real detail, but some shit that he didn't think should be going on.
So we already went over this part a little bit, but let me go over this again. In this 911 call, we don't hear nothing about a shower. We do hear some disturbing shit. I'll agree with Per Gordon on that. This 911 call is troublesome to me, extremely troublesome to me. And I don't know why DHS wasn't involved further, or if they were involved further, they could have been after this. It could be why DHS was involved, period, when the Sherry stuff went down. Anybody ever think of that? However, I don't know why the children weren't removed after a phone call like this to the police department. It could have maybe prevented Summer from going missing. That's where DHS fails children. But it was not the night Jose was there. Per Gordon, stop it. Maybe Marlena was there that night. She was there all the time. Maybe her daughter was there that night. We don't know that for sure, but they were there all the time.
He got Summer's tail. He told Candace, "You go in there and get her, or I'm going to go get her." And he wasn't kidding. He was going to get Summer out of the shower if Candace didn't. So Candace went in and took Summer out of the shower, and Dawn flipped the hell out. and started attacking everybody and going stupid and still
Because
trying to
Dawn
go
was
at
probably drunk. Because
he was
Dawn was
still
probably drunk.
he was still trying to go at Summer. Um, you know, I believe that if law enforcement would have taken Summer to, had CPS show up.
Listen to me. That's not exactly what Jose said. I don't know if Justin would fucking strike me. I'm gonna show it though anyway, even though I have all these strikes. Tonight, when I come back, instead of going over Prayer Garden, I just decided that we're gonna go over some of Jose's interview with Justin, the very first interview, and we're gonna listen to what Jose said about this and compare it together. So, anytime between like 1 and 2 o'clock tonight in the morning, I'll be live and we're going to go over Jose. He did say some disturbing shit, but it didn't happen when this phone call happened. And that's not exactly what he said. Quit exaggerating it, Prayer Garden.
Up, and they took her to the hospital for a healthcare check. I believe Don Wells would have been in prison, if you ask me, because I think that the wrong type of DNA would have been found, and he probably would be in jail right now. They took Jose. They took Jose and ran him off out of there after this. Grandma did. Grandma, actually, like she brought your little girl home, she took Jose over into another state.
That's not how that happened either, Prayer Garden. Dawn lived under the same roof with Jose for at least 2 weeks prior to the incident with Jose happening. You do understand that, right? He wasn't just ran out. There was a fight because Dawn was drunk. He was accusing, I think it was Candace and Jose were fucking. Excuse my language. But that's what he was accusing him of. That's what Jose was saying, was it was something about he was saying you're not a man or this, that, and the other. Listen to the conversation. There were bottles thrown. It wasn't this night. Stop it. I agree. They should have came into the house and children should have been removed after a call to 911 like that. I agree. However, the shit you're doing, stop. This had nothing to do with Jose.
State and got rid of him after this. And Candace dropped all the charges for a brand new vehicle, to keep her mouth shut. And she got a brand new vehicle out of everything and continued to let Dawn shower and do whatever he wanted with her daughter, Summer Moon Utah Wells. Candace very much
Absolutely.
knew.
Absolutely. I have to agree.
Candace very much knew what was going on up on Ben Hill Road. And Candace, was very much, she was very much aware of everything. And according to Jody Sue, Andy Bernard was going over there selling the stuff to Candace to sedate these little girls so that they.
Sorry, I walked off to get a water. Hey, Truth Hurts, please tell me at almost 4 years in how the F can PG still come out every night and make up a different lie. That's what I would love to know. They get more elaborate, they get bigger, much like Ziggy's lies. They're very comparable to each other, these two. Um, what did she say? I got sidetracked. Hold on.
if
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Marlena, listen to the things she's accusing them of, all while claiming love for Summer. Yep. Uh, Listen to the things Marlena's accusing these people of, and then remember that just days before Summer went missing, she allowed her child to sleep in home after making these accusations that she knew what was going on in that home, but did nothing to fix it, right? No, instead, she left her daughter there. How much love can you have for your own kid that you're going to leave them in an environment that you feel this is how they were living? Please explain that to me before you get on here and talk shit on her parents. You're just as guilty as they are of doing those things just because you left your child just days before Summer went missing in the same environment you're putting down. Please understand that, Marlena. This doesn't make you look good. It makes you look trashy as F.
if law enforcement would have taken Summer to, had CPS show up and they'd have took her to the hospital for a well healthcare check, I believe Don Wells would have been in prison, if you ask me, because I think that the wrong type of DNA would have been found and he probably would be in jail right now. They took Jose. They took Jose and ran him off out of there after this. Grandma did. Grandma, actually, like she brought your little girl home, she took Jose over into another state and got rid of him after this. And Candace dropped all the charges for a brand new vehicle to keep her mouth shut. And she got a brand new vehicle out of everything and continued to let Dawn shower and do whatever he wanted with her daughter, Summer Moon Utah Wells. Candace very much
Absolutely.
knew.
Absolutely. I have to agree.
Candace very much knew what was going on up on Ben Hill Road. And Candace, was very much, she was very much aware of everything. And according to Jody Sue, Andy Bernard was going over there selling the stuff to Candace to sedate these little girls so that they could be touched.
And that brings us back to the
Candace
conclusion that
was the one.
you know
Candace
what,
was the one getting
she
the
should be in
stuff
jail
for these
too.
little girls to be touched. And to my understandings, what they were using could possibly be something that didn't take much. They put it in their drink? They give them something to drink. It didn't take much, and it knocked them out.
Little distracted because I'm looking for my text messages with Marlena, but here's what I want to know, Per Gordon. How do you know that? From your understanding, where did you hear that? Who told you that? Did you tell the police that they told you that? Can you direct the police to that exact person? Because if that person knew that, then they know exactly what was going on, because I don't remember Jody Sue saying anything about Andy giving them something that they drank. That's not her words. So how do you know that? Please explain how you know that. I'll wait. Anytime you want a link in my chat, please let me know. That's a rumor.
That's to my understandings.
Absolutely, I do believe that. And you know what? She should be in jail too because she knew about it and didn't say anything.
Well, I am, in my opinion, Summer became very, very sick there at the end. Summer was very, very sick at the end of everything. Summer was becoming, if you,
She was
and
becoming very bent over and very like somebody having menstrual cramps and all that. Yes, I seen
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Three great three great forces ruled the world: stupidity, fear, and greed. And the Wells up there had them all, right? Fear of going to
Yep.
prison, stupidity, doing the evil, sick, disgusting stuff they were doing to these children, and greed. Greed, they wanted everything for themselves, didn't care about nobody else, just taking care of their self wants, everything about their self. They were selfish, self-centered, and self-seeking. Everything the Bible says is going to end up in hell. Well, it seems like they were. I'm just saying. That's my
I just want
opinion.
to know why Andy B still hangs out with Donnie Wells. I mean, that just, that's
Andy B
stupid
was at
too.
Donnie. Andy B was at Donnie Wells' house eh, on the night before Don Wells went to jail. Before Donald Wells went to jail, on the very night before, Andy B was up at his house. Wonder why? Well, you can't be getting messed up the night before you go to prison, because they're going to definitely test you, and that ain't no way you want to be, because they'll probably give you extra time if you are. Um, you ain't going to be sticking nothing in no cavities or anything, because they're you go and they check all your cavities now, so it wasn't for none of that. So why was he up there talking to Donnie Wells before Don goes into jail? I think it's to say, keep your fucking mouth shut, dude. They're going to question you. They're going to go over you. They're going to tell, do everything they can to break you. You better not talk, right?
Sorry, guys. I really don't mean to be ignoring you. Hey, Isabella. Hey, Joe. I'll read that in a second. I'm still looking for my messages with me and Marlena. If I can't find them, I'll find them by tonight, because I know for sure I have them. I've just shared them recently. I'll find them on wherever I shared them. But Marlena also talked about the drugs that Andy was giving Candace in my text messages. And that's what I want to show you. So I'm curious why, when they were talking about that, that she didn't bring that up to Prayer Garden. Marlena knows more than you think, in my opinion. I'll find them by tonight.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
because
my opinion.
there's a lot of people, Miss PJ, that drives around me that doesn't even know what I drive. And I sit a lot of different places and I see a lot of things that people don't think I see. And you know what? For them to be following me and looking after me and stuff, sometimes they completely miss me and I don't understand.
Joe, I think we did go over it the other day. It's in one of my other lives, or I didn't get there yet, but I think we heard a part like that when I was live the other day. Uh, I I think it's possible. I'm not going to say 100% because I can't. We don't know, but I think it's a huge possibility that could have been happening. I just did that. Yep. We talked about that in my last live yesterday. Disgusting.
How that happens.
It doesn't help find this baby.
Right?
I mean, and Dawn needs to leave my kid alone. He better not come 20 feet. Andy better not even think about going 20 feet. And Jody Sue, whatever her name is, or his old ex old lady, whatever. Yeah, she's a scarred woman. I know how it feels to be a scorned woman. I am a scorned woman at this point in time. In my life, I am a scorned woman because of all the stuff that's went on and stuff. But when it comes down to a kid, I would have told that right off the rip. Call me a snitch, call me what you want, because that little baby, that little girl had nothing to do with what he had, the way he was.
This is also why I don't think Marlena had anything to do with Summer. I think she's genuine when she says shit like this. I think she's a hothead. I'm kind of like that myself. So I get it. Okay. However, this is about a missing girl. Is it appropriate when you're the neighbor and somebody that knew this child? I don't think Marlena took Summer, but I don't like what Marlena's doing. I don't think it helps. It helps muddy the waters. That's the only thing it does. And let's keep in mind, Rick Crawford was up on a Wells property cutting trees just days before Summer went missing. That's in my text messages with Dawn. We went over when I started this live. Please go back and watch it. I've done I think this is the 4th or 5th. Let me go look. One, two, three. This is the 4th live I've had on this. In the first live, I shared text messages between me and Dawn that I think go with all of this bullshit. Please go read them. Oh yeah, there's 3 of them. We went over one of the last one yesterday a little bit. I didn't finish it. I kind of want to stay in order. I only went over it yesterday because Prayer Garden was responding to me and I wanted to respond back. So I had to get back to the first one. We're still going over the first one. I want to stay on my 2 hours. You know what I mean? But I'm going to come live again tonight. I said at the beginning of this. I asked because I never heard it before. Oh, okay. We'll go over it again. If she didn't say it yet, then she'll say it again. If not, Darlene, you can go to not my last live. Maybe it was my last live. One of my last 3 lives, we went over it. Yeah, she's scorned right now. Right now, because of all of this, is what she said after that. Not because of a man or not because her daughter, but because, well, I guess it would include her daughter, but because of all of this. We don't know where Summer is. I wonder what Summer is. Is Summer scorned? How does this help, Marlena? Why does your times change? Yes, that's exactly what Dawn told me. Like I said, please go read the messages. They were telling. And they were short, but there was a lot of detail in them. Okay.
Treating her the way he was doing or what he was doing. She should have opened her mouth from the get-go.
And them other little girls Jody Sue's talking about didn't deserve it either. None of them children deserved the abuse that they went through.
What the hell is, let me put it this way. Why didn't she woman up? Why didn't she woman up? Is there not nothing about her woman enough? Because, apparently, I don't know how long they've lived down there on that hill because, not Candace and them, but Andy and them. I don't know how long they've lived at his parents' place. Let's put it that way.
Quite a while.
Okay, well, they should know the ins and outs of that creek.
This is what I mean. Jody Sue knows who Marlena is. They don't get along. I played a recorded call between me and Jody not too long ago. In that recorded call, we talk about Marlena. It's apparent prior to Summer going missing, they knew each other. Jody has never denied knowing Marlena. She says Marlena's shit, as a matter of fact. I don't understand why Marlena's out here acting like she didn't know Jody and Andy lived there. How long did they live there? Especially when she's the one that told me Andy's the one that sold the drugs to Candace and Dawn. I would like to know why she's another neighbor, another community member that comes online and acts like she doesn't know shit. They get the I don't know shit syndrome. When you don't want to snitch on somebody, that's fine. But to come live and lie and muddy waters is a different thing. And that's only because I feel you're helping to clear something you know up. I don't think you're guilty, Marlena, but I think you know more. And I really don't like the things you say when you know they're bullshit. Not only that, but I would like you to listen, even though I cannot stand Lips. I think what Lips did to you was wrong. I've talked about it. However, go listen to your interviews with her because they're much different. Don't come back on here. Please. You're just going to make matters worse. Jody did enough of that. Fred did enough of it. Stop it. You're a liar too, in my opinion, respectfully.
Down there, they
Oh,
should
they
know
do.
what's right and wrong. And well, like I said, this takes me back to the beginning. There has never been no kid been mistreated or disappear from down there. So therefore, why didn't she open her mouth?
Because Jody Sue does not like kids. You know what Jody Sue has to say about children? She said, she says that she can't stand any damn kid that isn't hers. That's what she said. She also said that if she had a child that had anything wrong with it, she'd take a pillow and do the unthinkable to this child.
A moment I agree with Prayer Gordon. Those are Jody Sue's words. I have the videos. Squall put them out. It's why Jody came public on her own channel to defend herself from those videos. In my opinion, she absolutely, I agree with Prayer Garden on this. Hi, we. And yeah, like, I'll tell you what I've heard and what I haven't heard and what I like and what I don't like. This is one time Prayer Garden is saying something Jody said.
She even said
She's
that
sick and twisted too, huh?
oh yeah, she said that if a child puts one foot on her land up there, that that she would own that foot. She also said that she didn't care if a kid fell over the side of the cliff and or whatever. I mean, this is the type you do you think a woman like this is going to be telling anything? I mean, you think she cares if somebody's kids are getting sedated and touched?
She needs to be put away too.
And I'll tell you another thing. She pulls up, she sees Summer coming, with nothing on whatsoever, being thrown out of the
Yeah,
shower.
and
And
that
she
she
doesn't
also
call
told me in a
911.
store. She also told me in a store one night.
And here's where I'm going to stick up for Jody Sue. Yes, Jody Sue did call DHS on them. Yes, she did. I promise you she did. She was researching them like crazy before Summer went missing. Something happened in October when Dawn went to Utah, and Jody Sue started researching Dawn very deeply. I don't quite understand it. I don't understand why what the significance was of that, but I'm sure it was to give evidence to DHS in any way possible. She admittedly says that in many, many, many lives. And that also gives me motive. Like, she didn't like the kids enough that she wanted them gone. But I will give Jody Sue credit. She also didn't allow her children to go over on the hill and play with the Wells kids. Her kids were sheltered, homeschooled, and kept home. She wouldn't take them to the bus stop because Ronald Hill was selling pills to children, just like Andy. She's made them claims. I've gone over them probably about 8 months to a year ago, when people weren't paying attention to me. And I don't want to keep bringing the same shit out over and over again and going over the same shit, because there's so much more to go over that I can't even begin to get to. But that video is labeled, it has a thumbnail that says the Hills or Ronald Hill on it. Jody Sue, a picture. You should watch it. Yeah, she has a picture of her daughter holding Summer 100%. She definitely knew the Wells, and you know what I mean? But Marlena's children was over at the well. Marlena's daughter was over at the Wells, spending nights, staying there without parental supervision. That's one thing Jody did not let happen with her daughter. And her daughter is only a little bit older than Josie, so they would be old enough to play together. I got to give Jody credit there. Marlena, you left your daughter there in the same circumstances you're talking about.
That Fred Hill is the one that went against me, and that she had paperwork and everything for them to take my kid.
What?
She said she had proof that Fred Hill went against me to take my youngin'. It was a plot of getting my youngin' taken away. So wait a minute, was it really Fred Hill? Because me
No,
and Fred Hill was on good terms at one time. And
no,
it wasn't Fred Hill. It was her and Andy B and Candace and Dawn sucking this
absolutely.
up and trying to get her taken away from me. And let me just congratulate you all. Y'all did it perfectly. You got her.
That's true. But Marlena, if you've been paying attention, it's been Linda and Lips who works with Candace, who in my opinion works with Jody at the beginning of this. And then I feel there was a fight, but they work with Ziggy and Fred Hill. There's a whole circle there. But it was Lips and Linda, in my opinion, that was aiming for your child. At whose behest?
Taken away. But you know what? It'll be hell or high water if I don't get her back.
Absolutely. And you will. And you will.
And you know
will.
what? I'm going through some stuff.
But
But
right
you know
now,
what? I will
right
make it.
now, Marlena is doing what's best for her daughter. She's letting her daughter stay somewhere that she's protected right now, very protected right now.
She ain't letting shit. The state placed her daughter with a family member. It ain't like she gave permission for her daughter to stay somewhere. They accomplished having her daughter taken, and I'm not saying that didn't need to happen, but it should have happened through family. It shouldn't have been YouTube and Candace that did it. And Jody Sue. Do you understand? I'm sorry, guys. I am having an allergy attack right now. My throat is itchy. My eyes are watering. I feel like I got to sneeze and I'm coughing to death. Jody Sue said he gave them something. Oh, yeah, she did say it. Jody absolutely said it, but Marlena said it as well way before Jody said it to me. I have the text messages. I will find them. I promise you. I've shared them on my channel. I've saved them somewhere. I just got to find out where. Okay, let's go.
because of a lot of things going on. One of them is over the last few months, Dom Wells has been circling a place that you know that they would think Marlena's daughter would be at, and it that's a big.
I hate it, pretty sweet pea. I go live. I was fine right before I went live. I came live and now my throat's itching. It's so fucking embarrassing. Yeah, but it's raining. You would think the rain kept that down. I should research that. I don't know if it makes it worse or what, but it is like the right side of my throat, my cheeks, my eyes, and it's been going on for at least 2 weeks now. It won't quit. It's horrible. Okay, this year.
Big red flag. That's weird. That's weird. They've been circling up a place, I think, these people like to throw a little fear. They want to throw some fear in the witnesses to keep them from talking. They want to, that was their way of trying to scare Marlena up to keep her mouth shut and not come out and tell about any of these things, that you're learning tonight about the Wells.
Prayer Garden, you're not the first one to do an interview with her. Lips did an interview with her. She came out on Lips' channel. She wasn't scared of shit. And she sits on here and says, I ain't scared of nobody. They can all come fight me and blah, 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 blah. So you're being a hypocrite. Do you understand that, Antichrist? You're being a hypocrite, dark angel. You damn sinner. I don't believe Marlena's been threatened. Maybe she could have been, because I get threatened. I'm sure you've been threatened as a creator. Jody definitely gets threatened. We've watched that. Dawn and Candace have been threatened. I'm not saying she hasn't been threatened, but Marlena comes out here like she is not scared to be threatened, and she knows everything, and she lived in that holler, and she runs that holler. Do you understand? You're being an extreme hypocrite right now. What about all the others that have been threatened? I don't even live there. I'm just a YouTube creator. I've been threatened. Don't put this like it's just Marlena being threatened, because it definitely isn't. Yes, Marlena lost her child. You know what, Marlena? Maybe you should have been in rehab or getting help, or maybe you should go to rehab. If you were sober and it ain't been past 18 months, you can get your child back. Go work with DHS. Get her back. She deserves to have a sober mother that loves her. I do believe you love your daughter. I've seen the pictures. I've seen videos of you with Journey. Yes, I've been on your Facebook. Your many Facebooks, actually. Just like I've been everybody else's and just like every other YouTube creator. I truly believe you love your daughter. But I truly believe you also made the same bad decisions that Dawn and Candace did. And that you ain't a person whose shit don't stink. Okay? Get your shit together. Go get your daughter. Quit spreading rumors and go tell the truth, since your family is the head agent over Summer Will's case. And you know for fact, you told me that for fact. I believe you might have even used those words, that Andy Bernard was selling the drugs to Candace. Don't come on Prayer Garden. Go tell the police. If you're even not even in jail, because we still don't know what happened the other day. And to me, it seems like Prayer Garden's trying to cover some shit up.
And about these people surrounding the Wells, about Ben Hill Road in general.
I
You
just
know,
want to know if it's Andy B's place that he's renting, or is that where he's staying, or whatever down there next to my mother. Is that him and Dawn's accomplice place that nobody knows about, and there's a camper full of kids behind it and all that? I mean, who are they going in after next?
exactly, exactly, absolutely, absolutely, and that's a
Place that he's renting, or is that where he's staying, or taken away? But you know what? It'll be hell or high water if I don't get her back.
absolutely, and you will, and you will, you
And you know
will.
what? I'm going through some stuff,
But
but you
right
know
now,
what? I will
right
I will
now,
make it.
right now, Marlena is doing what's best for her daughter. She's letting her daughter stay somewhere that she's protected right now, very protected right now, because of a lot of things going on. One of them is over the last few months, Dom Wells has been circling a place that that they would think Marlena's daughter would be at, and it that's a big red flag. That's weird. That's weird. They've been circling up a place. I think these people like to throw a little fear. They want to throw some fear in the witnesses to keep them from talking. They want to. That was their way of trying to scare Marlena up to keep her mouth shut and not come out and tell about any of these things. That you're learning tonight about the wells and about these people surrounding the wells, about Ben Hill Road in general. Um,
I
you
just
know,
want to know if it's Andy B's place that he's renting, or is that where he's staying, or whatever down there next to my mother. Is that him and Dawn's accomplice place that nobody knows about, and there's a camper full of kids behind it and all that? I mean, who are they going in after next?
tell about any of these things, that you're learning tonight about the wells and about these people surrounding the wells, about Ben Hill Road in general. Um,
I
you
just
know,
want to know if it's Andy B's place that he's renting, or is that where he's staying, or whatever down there next to my mother. Is that him and Dawn's accomplice place that nobody knows about, and there's a camper full of kids behind it and all that?
Is Andy B in my chat this evening? She's accusing Andy B of renting a place down behind her mother's that Don and his accomplice and all that stuff like that, a trailer full of kids down behind her mother's. Elaborate.
I mean, who are they going in after next?
exactly, exactly, absolutely, absolutely, and that's a worry. That's a fear that we all have. Absolutely. As you can see on the screen, Summer went from this beautiful child in at church in Robin's arms. Look at mommy. Look at mommy. Look at mommy sitting over there like a Norman Rockwell painting, all slumped over. The only thing missing is the mother freaking bottle, at her feet. Right. The only thing missing is the freaking R&R bottle at the bottom of her feet, right there. But look at her, all slumped over, like a sloth she is, in a church house. You don't go to church to sleep. If you want to sleep, stay home. Don't take your ass into a church and lay around like some Norman Rockwell painting on the end of the bench. That's disrespectful to God and everyone else inside the church house at that particular time.
I was taught you don't go to church and you don't act like that, for one. For two, you don't go in there wearing a pair of jeans and a hoodie and all that. You better be dressed presentable. And you don't
Absolutely.
snore, you don't go to sleep, you go to church, you go there to praise God, and that's what you better be doing, because my mom and
Amen.
dad would have smacked us in the back of the head.
Ain't that the truth? And look,
Your mom and dad had a church in the back of their yard the size of a fucking shed. Give me a second. This is what I want to know more about. I don't quite understand it. Hold on. Where did it go? Oh my God. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm looking for something. I don't want to show too much. I might just read it to you. I'll show it so that you've seen it happened, but I think I'm just going to read this. Actually, I will show it. Share this tab. Just so you can see, I'll read it. But just so you can see what I'm reading is true, but I'm not going to make it big and extremely presentable. I'm glad you requested me. I have one question. Can you tell me who on Light Hauler pulled a gun on you? So Elaine Smith wrote me and asked me, maybe it wasn't Elaine. I have to go back because this was in 2023. Okay, January of 2023, just coming out of 2022, when Dawn got out of jail. He made a Facebook page. He requested everybody. He had a lot of porn sites on it. I think it was catfishing personally, but people were writing me like Elaine and telling me to tell him to take all that off his page and da 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 da. It didn't look good. And she started tripping the fuck out over it. So I started writing Dawn after he friend requested me. I'm glad you requested me. It had to have been Elaine that said it because I just can't remember. Don't quote me. But it was all around this time. I'm glad you requested me. I have one question. Can you tell me who on Light Hauler pulled the gun on you? It wasn't me on Light Hauler. It was a friend of ours at a small church while she was cleaning the church. She was very shaken. We're trying to learn more details. As for me, I had many problems in many places trying to figure out what happened with Summer. Thanks for keeping Summer's story out and any help there. God bless. Okay, hold on. Small church at the end of Light Hauler. In fact, it was Marlena Crawford's mother. Hold on, what was we talking about? Dawn, have you listened to Fred Hill's interviews with Ziggy? There is a lot that happened while you were in jail. I would like to give you a few things to think about, if that's okay. He writes me back, Ziggy should know that he shoots meth into his body as much as he possibly can every single day. She should not be taking her daughter around him. Meth psychosis makes one absolutely crazy. Have you seen JLR's walkthrough with Brandon of Light Hauler to Ben Hill and down Beach Creek? No, I haven't. I agree 100%, but that is not why I ask. Okay. Can you watch that, then get back to me? I will send it to you. He put okay. Haskell's son? Not sure if he's a light. No, that is not it. There is a church there. Can you tell me about that? Small church at the end of Light Hauler. In fact, it was Marlena Crawford's mother. Marlena? Yes. Fred made some strange accusations. It worries me. Yeah, me too, Dawn says. He claimed you gave Summer to Ricky to sacrifice. I don't know where I seen that. This, like I said, this was a long time ago. I know that it is not true, but I found something about other neighbors of yours. They are connected to Marlena. All these meth heads running around. I'm sure one of them grabbed Summer. Okay, then we get into, I only know Ricky Crawford, Marlena Crawford's brother. Okay. I think that's all on that. But I wanted you to hear what Dawn said to me about the church. I don't know why. I never heard that. It was somebody that asked me to ask Dawn about that. I just can't remember who it was. I'll go through my messages and see. It's going to take a lot of digging to find out, but I don't think that that's even important because I asked Dawn and he answered. He admitted that somebody pulled a gun out on somebody in that church while cleaning it. I think that's significant, Marlena. So don't go talking about how you would be treated in a church. Please. Okay. Stalking. It's called gang stalking. Fucking hell. Waiting for him, man or mouse. I said that. Big deep breaths, everyone. PG will eventually turn on Marlena. That's what, yep. Just like everybody else, I agree. I have no idea what Marlena looks like or sounds like. Could anyone pretending to be her? No. No. It's her. She has many videos on her Facebook page. It's her. That's how she sounds. And she did an interview with Lips. You can compare them. Way too many games, little Dev, in my opinion. I agree with you.
Here, look at this what they done to this beautiful child. Look at her. Right here's that beautiful child. There she is. There she is. No hair whatsoever in the arms of Robin again. Right? She's in the arms of Robin again. I mean, you know, you could tell she was not okay with what they did to her. She was not
So
okay with
whatever
what they
happened to
did.
Robin? Because I ain't heard no more about her.
Robin, you know, Robin's starting to speak up a little bit too. She's starting to speak up a little bit as well, and you know, in different ways. She's putting it out here on the wells
Where?
also. So you
Where?
know, thank God for that as well. Right here, as you can see in this picture right here, on little Summer is with her little friend. I covered the little girl's face because I'm not showing no little children out here, but I covered the other little girl's face there. But she's with her little friend. Her little friend, you can tell, is damn near
Hey,
holding this
PG.
child up. Yes,
PG. I'm going to tell everybody that little girl in that picture is my little girl.
absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
is my little girl in that picture.
And this picture was taken um a few days before Summer went missing. This
That was
picture
took
was
the Sunday
taken.
morning to go to church. That Sunday morning.
It was taken Sunday morning to go to church.
Yep, they were on their way to church.
I think Robin's made some statements in her prayers. There's a prayer I have saved. Hold on, guys. There's a prayer I have saved by Robin where she made some statements where she seems a little wary of the way the Wells live. However, in my opinion, Robin's a woman of God. I'm not a super extremist religious person. I believe in God. Um, I don't do the church-goey type people for many reasons of my own, but I know the type. And I think Robin has opinions, but I also think she's a helper, if you know what I'm saying. I think that I find many things strange about Robin. I don't like to talk about it because I don't want to attack people from the church that knew Summer, that loved Summer. I think that's Ellie's job to look into that. I would consider that a huge sin. However, I do have questions about Robin's international experience, her fellowship all over America. I have many questions. I would love to interview Robin about those things so that we could get a better understanding of the type of person that she is. You know what? Let's just listen. I don't want to say hurtful things to people at Summer's church. I do have reservations about some of them. But I don't think, I don't know what I think. Truth. I don't know what I think. I'm very confused. I'm confused. I thought they went to church on Saturday, not Sunday. They did. Yeah, I feel there's something truly good with her. I get the same vibe with her that I do TT. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like I have the same feeling about the two, but I don't know how to express it, if that makes sense. Okay. Oh, she's definitely going to turn on. She turns on everybody. After she put the cash out and let her make a little bit of money, it's her content. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of thinking, and you don't want to, because I see that Robin has done good for children for many, many years in many, many aspects of her life in Rogersville and outside of Rogersville, if you know what I'm saying. But could it be a situation where she does too good for children and takes responsibility into her own hands? That's a feeling I get too. And that's the same feeling I get with TT. However, I don't want to accuse them of things like that, because they do, well, TT does a lot of fellowship too, guys. I don't know if you guys knew that, but she's very deeply embedded in her church. And I've covered that, and she's come on my panel and spoken about that. So I'm okay to speak about it, I think. But I get the same sort of vibe from the both of them. I don't see them out to harm Summer. However, I don't know that they would stay in the public eye while hiding. I don't know. I just get a vibe. I don't know what that vibe is. I would love to personally have a respectful conversation with Robin. I don't know if that could ever happen. If you hear this, Robin, and then if you're up for it, I'd appreciate it. I would love to hear about your fellowship and your international travels and the type of woman that you are and the things that you've done in your life, so that we could gather a better understanding of who you are. Because I don't think that you've ever been given the opportunity to sit down and just talk about those sort of things as a human and not a church member. Mm-hmm. Her Gordon's a devil, in my opinion.
here's Jody Sue. Here's Jody Sue. Good old Jody Sue. What's the matter, Jody Sue, with your eyes all teared up right there? You feeling a little bad? You feeling a little bad about everything you know and everything you didn't do to save Summer? Was you feeling a little bad? You know, do you really do have a conscience there, Jody Sue? Because I think you do. You know, you try to act all tough as hell, but I think you right there shows you got some conscience. Right here, that picture, Jody Sue shows you got some conscience.
I want
You
to know
know,
how they sleep with themselves at night knowing this.
and she
Because
don't
I wouldn't
sleep.
be able to
Sometimes she
sleep a
does.
wink.
Hey man, sometimes she does 80-hour lives. I hear. I don't even know. I don't think she does sleep. As you can
Prayer Garden, I've watched you sit on fucking Ziggy's panel for 8 to 12 hours. Then I've seen you come on your panel and do 8-hour lives. You need to stop. I've even done 8-hour fucking lives. I don't do them often. But don't act like you ain't part of that or you don't do the same exact damn thing. Please.
see here, Summer was very sick. Every one of these pictures was taken just days before she disappeared. She disappeared on
The water
Tuesday.
slide, the water slide was taken that Friday. No, that that picture with the water slide and all that, that was taken the Thursday Thursday afternoon, Thursday day of the week prior to her missing.
Right, exactly. And you can see her brother's having to help her up. She's on the ground, can't hardly get up. Summer was very sick. You could even tell here that she was at church. And
Summer was so sick. It was taken the Thursday before. Her daughter was on that slide with her. Where was Marlena? Sitting right there? Was the video sent to her? Come on now. Summer's so sick that she allowed her daughter to go there, and they came to pick her daughter up with Summer. Marlena seen Summer. This shit needs to stop. This is Prayer Garden. You need to stop.
look at her. She can barely stand. Her little friend is standing beside her, which is Marlena's daughter, standing beside her, keeping an eye on her because Summer was needing help. Summer was needing help to get around, and this little girl knew it. This
My
little
little
girl
girl was
knew.
also in those pictures of the water slide too.
I'll be right back.
I took her out. I took her out because I don't show. There was also
Thank you for
another.
that. But I will tell all of Summer's Army that was my little girl in that picture.
There was also another little girl up on the hill that was in those pictures as well. So when Jody Sue said, you know, other to touch other little girls as well, it shows that these people were getting other little girls up there. God only knows what they were doing with them. Why did they need to take the video? Why did they need to take the video
Well, I'm
after?
just going to say that Jody said.
That's the original video. Does Summer look sick? Does she look any sicker than them other children? How you going to show a picture from the video and not the video? Let's watch it again. She doesn't look sick there. Her brother went down sort of just like her. They're all climbing up the hill a little slow. One's holding her belly. Summer gets to the top. She's wiping water off her face. Wait, hold on. She's going to go again. She jumped onto the slip and slide. Does Summer look sick to you? Prayer garden. Stop.
Sue better stay away from me. If she sees me on the street, she better go the other way because she knew about it and she didn't say anything.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. And you know, and she done nothing to protect. She could have protected Summer. She didn't. And she definitely could have protected your children and other people's children, but she didn't. Because you know why?
Marlena could have protected her own daughter. Nothing happened to her daughter that we know of, unless you know of something. Protected her from what? What accusations are you making, Prayer Garden? Because the Thursday before, her daughter was allowed at that house. Don't you think Marlena should have been protecting her daughter instead of handing them off to her if she thought there was something going on there? Look, I'm not saying Dawn and Candace are innocent or anything, but I'm saying this is slanderous bullshit rumor mill. That's what they're doing. Look how sick Summer was. Look at her. She could barely get up that hill. What? Show the video, Prayer Garden. Don't take a picture from it and tell your audience, look at her. She's so sick. You bitch.
Andy was selling that stuff. He was selling that stuff and they were making the money, and that's all they cared about. That's all they cared about. And you know, there's probably special places in hell for people that don't, you know, that only care about their own self-gain. More than likely good old place in hell for all those people as well.
I'll just inform you, I'm a Taurus, the bull, and they are known when they're like, they'll let you slip and they'll give you enough rope to hang yourself with. And they have hung themselves with me. So, you know, I open up 7 gates of hell when I get mad. So tell them to pick one.
Man,
come and find mine.
I get along with Taurus the bull. I get along with Taurus the bull like freaking like ketchup gets along with French fries. I'm telling you, I get along with.
I'm a Gemini. We have 2 sides, good and evil. They'll stomp your Taurus bull any fucking day and your Taurus bull bullshit. Come grab a link, Marlena. Come dispel some of the things that I'm saying. Please. Come tell me how what I'm saying is wrong. You allowed your child up there. That's the first gate of hell. Let me be the 7th.
With Taurus the bull's real good.
Which one
I don't know why, but I've always got to.
Are you a Sagittarius or are you a Cancer?
Girl, I can't say what I am because I can't give myself out here. But everybody says my birthday is on Halloween. All right,
so I go Libra.
No, girl, I go along with it. My birthday ain't Halloween. They just say it is.
But you're a church-going woman, and you're proud of that. So you're admitting you're actually a devil? Thank you for that. And who's whispering in the background? Let's listen again.
If she sees me on the street, she better go the other way because she knew about it and she didn't say anything.
No, she didn't. And you know, and she done nothing to protect. She could have protected Summer. She didn't. And she definitely could have protected your children and other people's children, but she didn't. Because you know why? Andy was selling that stuff. He was selling that stuff and they were making the money, and that's all they cared about. That's all they cared about. And you know, there's probably special places in hell for people that don't, you know, that only care about their own self gain. More than likely, good old place in hell for those people as
Well,
well.
I will just inform you. I'm a Taurus, the bull, and they are known when they're like they'll let you slip and they'll give you enough rope to hang yourself with, and they have hung themselves with me. So I open up 7 gates of hell when I get mad. So tell them to pick one.
Man, I get along with Taurus the bull. I get along with Taurus the bull, like freaking like
You
ketchup
must
gets
be a
along with
Cancer.
French fries. I'm telling
You
you, I
must,
get along with Taurus the bulls real good.
which one
I
are
don't know
you? Are you a
why, but I've always got
Sagittarius?
to. I
Are you
have
a
always.
Sagittarius or
I can't,
are you a Cancer?
girl. I can't say what I am because because I can't get myself out here. But everybody says my birthday is on Halloween. All right,
Oh,
so
you're a Libra.
I
No.
no, girl, I go along with it. I go along with it. My birthday ain't Halloween. They just say it is.
Well, see, Taurus gets along with a Libra, a Sagittarius. When Sagittarius and a Taurus gets together, we're always double trouble. I get along. I get along with a Cancer, and I get along with an Aries, and Aquarius.
So she's very proud of people calling her a devil while she sits there and said, "This is Summer's channel under God. It was created by God." Did you hear her say that the other day? But she's proud she's a devil. She's proud of people saying her birthday. So, Prayer Garden, you're admitting that you're evil as fuck. Because that's what I think you are. A big, old, fat hypocrite. I don't think you go to church at all.
Amen.
And if you do, it's one of those weird ones.
I get
Now,
along with
Gemini, me and them will butt heads faster than anything. Sometimes me and Aries does. It just depends on what the situation is.
Gemini's, man. The Gemini's, the twins. You don't know.
Yeah, the
You don't
twins,
know
they're
who.
two-faced.
You don't know who you're. You don't know which person you're going to be seeing when you show up. Right?
Which, if you're on, there's people on my Facebook. They know what I am. I am Taurus the bull. I am stubborn. I am determined. I don't let things slide that easy. You might think I have, but I don't. Yeah, I'm a bull. I am born on Mother's Day,
Uh,
and I was born on leap year. Every
amen.
family's got that black sheep. I'm that black sheep.
Hey, girl, I'm going to tell you. So
Me
was
too.
I.
Come try me.
So was I. I know it. That black sheep, man. That black sheep catches all
All
the
black,
hell
You're
there is
such a
to
all
catch.
black
liar,
sheep,
Prayer Garden. Listen to
all
you.
black sheep
Oh, so
flock
was I.
together.
They catch all the freaking hell. Right?
Here,
If
here, let me give you
there's
some.
any hell coming down the pike, man, you get it.
And I'm the youngest out of 4.
And I'm the oldest
So
out
I
of
had to
5.
get tough or die. But I think everybody, if anybody else has got
I
any more
had to whoop
questions,
all the
feel
youngest
free.
ones
I don't
into
care to
shape.
tell anything you want
Didn't
me to
work,
tell.
but I whooped their asses.
Anybody that wants to ask anything, they can.
Eh, hold on 1 second, Marlena. And Dawn, don't twist it. Marlena did not say that she knew all the terrible shit going on at the Wells house. No, she didn't know all the terrible stuff. She didn't know all the terror. She knew they weren't the best people in the world, you know, but she didn't. I mean, who suspects someone doing, who suspects people of doing evil stuff, as in, you know, sedating little children in order to touch them? Nobody suspects that. She did not suspect that kind of stuff. You
No, I
know,
did not.
she
Don't get that
suspected that
twisted.
I tried to understand what he was saying. I couldn't. I'm not going to keep going back, but I'll listen to it another time and see if I can figure it out. Crazy.
She suspected that Don and Candace ain't the greatest people in the world, but they were supposed to, they asked her to let her little girl hang with Summer, and to that they was going to be doing a bunch of family activities, going to water parks and doing all kinds of things over the next few days. And could her little girl join Summer in doing all of this stuff? And Marlena was kind enough to say yes. If she knew or even heard that they were over there doing that kind of stuff, she would have not ever brought her kid near them. Matter of fact, she'd have been called.
But Prayer Garden, she just told us all she knew. She talked about Candace's hygiene. She talked about how they lived. She knew Dawn was taking showers with the kids, yet she still allowed her child to go up there. Yes, she did. You're an odd one. You must not hear what they're saying, or you're trying to twist the narrative and what was said.
Calling Child Protective Services, and trying to get Summer the help she probably needed. Marlena had no idea that this kind of stuff was going on. Matter of fact, she's concerned.
Remember, Miss PG, I told them that I had stepped out of their life for a very long time over the kid, the boy,
Right.
that where it didn't
Well,
happen. So I stepped out of that. I had my own youngin. And then after that, I stayed to myself. My youngin stayed with me. That was one of the reasons my kid stayed with me, because I didn't trust everybody handling my kid or taking
Mar-
care of my kid.
Marlena did not get a real good look at Summer. They came and picked Marlena's daughter up at Marlena's house. She did not it wasn't like, she didn't go up on Ben Hill Road and drop her daughter off and get a good look at, Summer, and how Summer was looking really bad. She
The only
did.
reason that she went that week is because my car was.
Well, according to Fred, she lived up on that hill. According to many others, too, she was staying at the wells herself at some point. Prayer Garden. I mean, that's kind of an in depth look, wouldn't you say? You act like you were staying there and you know everything. I'd like to know, have you ever stayed on Ben Hill?
Was broke down at the time, and I couldn't get nowhere to take her for her fun vacation. So they offered for her to be in Summer's friend, for her to go and do the water parks and this and that and
Right.
whatever. And Journey wanted to go, so yeah, I let her go because I figured it would be okay, because I didn't ever see them drug them. I never seen them do the things that has been told here. If I'd have knew that stuff, there would be no way in hell I would let my kid went there.
Oh,
None.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I
I wouldn't
believe
have
you.
even been going there. Period.
Absolutely. And Marlena, yes. When they came to pick up Marlena's daughter, yes, Marlena thought Summer wasn't looking so well. She did think that Summer did not look well. But she didn't know the severity of it. She didn't know, she knew that, Summer was was awful thin, not looking too good. But, you know, she didn't know what was going on. She had no idea what was going on.
I
You know,
never got out of the vehicle to when they came to pick up my youngin. The kids never got out of the vehicle whatsoever. She pulled up in my driveway. I had her bags packed. My youngin got in the car with them and they left. I didn't have no clue what was going on. I had none of that. I didn't know that she had all this stuff had been happening. If
right.
like I said, therefore, again, let's not turn this into what Marlena didn't do or what she thought was wrong. If I thought it was wrong, I wouldn't have never let it happen. Let's put
Um,
it that way. If I knew something was going on, I would have never let my daughter go. For one,
has
for two, if
has
I'd have knew something, somebody would have been in there to take care of Summer before anything would have ever happened to her.
absolutely, absolutely. If you
Because
could have said,
I don't like people messing with kids, and people were out here raping youngins and raping, I mean, even women. I don't like that stuff. I was not raised that way. And where I came from, they didn't do that sort of thing.
right,
So if I would
right,
have knew that stuff, yes, I'll tell everybody right now on this channel or whatever we're doing. I will tell everybody right now. I would have snitched. I would have told the police what was going on. I would have also told CPS. I would have had them youngins some help in there if I'd have knew what was going on. They'd both be sitting and rotting in prison right now, or all 4 of them, or all 5 of them, or all 6 of them, whatever, how many was in this clan that helped make her disappear. They would be in prison right now. We wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
absolutely, absolutely.
So
Um,
don't get anything twisted. Don't think that that's what happens. People start to ramble off in the brain and try to bend and twist everything when it ain't about. If I would have sit here and told Miss PG, yeah, Miss PG, I knew about that. No, I would have been honest with that. I would have been straightforward. No, I did not know anything that was going on up there. I hadn't been in their life for a good minute. And I thought everything was a-okay. Yeah, Don always raised hell and got drunk when he come in. And if I was there, I would load up my youngin and we would leave because I didn't want my youngin to see that. My youngin had already been through enough at that point. And you
right,
think that I would just let my youngin go up there after everything that happened, her losing her friend and her uncle and this and that? You think I'd let my kid go up there and be raped and drugged and all that? There is no way in Sam hell I would let that happen if it was
absolutely,
in my knowledge.
absolutely. And I totally and utterly, I have spent time, I have spent a lot of time behind the scenes talking with Marlena. I've even talked with her brother. I've talked with these people, and I'm telling you now, I'm pretty good. You guys know that on this channel we call it like we see it. Is we search for the truth, nothing but the truth, because the truth is the only thing going to bring Summer home. We've said that from day one, and we stuck to it. And I have talked to Marlena behind the scenes, and I'm going to tell you now, I do not think Marlena had anything whatsoever to do with Summer Moon Utah Wells coming up missing at all. I think Marlena was, caught in the crossfires of some really super evil people who was plotting and ploiting against her before Summer even went missing.
I I stepped away, but I was listening. Listen, she spent a long time, evening Mama Bear, behind the scenes, talking to Marlena and Marlena's brother. Per Gordon, did Marlena's brother tell you about the tree cutting? Did he tell you about the clear cut that went from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill that he helped Dawn with? That's also me and Dawn's text messages. I'm not going to keep going through them because there's things in there I don't want people to see. It's all about this stuff. But did Ricky happen to tell you about how his woman, Clesta, was with Earl Taylor on the 15th? And then he ended up dead on the 16th. I would like to know what you talked to her brother about. I hope you recorded it because I'm going to demand that you put it the fuck out or send it to the police.
Missing. I think that she was, they were looking and even considering trying to take advantage of her daughter. I truly believe that. I also believe that, Marlena was the one that contacted law enforcement and let law enforcement know that some are supposed to be missing, around the 4:30 mark. And that was way.
Marlena actually called the police and told the police Summer was supposed to be missing around the 4:30 mark. I'd like to know when Marlena did that. Per Gordon, can you get a date? Was it the date Summer went missing, or was it when the police came to question her? Because Marlena told me she was questioned by the police. I would like to know when that took place. Uh-uh.
Too early, for her to be missing, because Candace didn't even call law enforcement until 6:30. Her and Don Wells. Marlena has been on Summer's side from day one. She has not came out. She could have started a channel. She could have started a channel just like Jody Sue. She could have been out here. She could have been, running a channel and everything, but she didn't. She wasn't doing none of that. She was behind the scenes trying to help Summer as much as she possibly could. And, in the meantime, as
The same way she was helping her own daughter that's not with her. She took time out to fight for Summer, but not her own kid. Is that what you're saying? I don't believe you, Per Gordon. Quit lying.
she said, Don and Candace was putting her through 10 different types of hell, and keeping her busy. So she really couldn't be out here, telling much of anything, because she was too busy taking care of her life behind the scenes and cleaning up all the shit that they was giving her behind the scenes to keep her busy. So she couldn't come out and and give a whole lot to the people out here, as she's doing now. And why is she out here now? She's out here now because she's fed up with all the bullshit. She's fed up. Marlena is fed up with, people stalking her and coming around, and she just wants to put the message out. I know what you're doing. I'm fully hip to what's going on, and I am watching for you mother effers. Please don't be messing with me and mine. You know, I don't know why did you got to act and be as evil as you are. It's sad that you are evil, but I will not tolerate it. And I'm not going to hide my head somewhere like a coward. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to let you know. That's what she's doing out here. Just saying.
That is why I'm out here. I am tired and sick and tired of them playing. Let's play peekaboo and go in and out the shadows and all that. It's time to face up. It's time to face the music. Let's face it. Yeah, I've had to clean up a lot of friggin' crap that they threw at me. I've had to do a lot. I've had to defend my dad's name. I had to defend mine. I've had to sit still and not have a job and not be able to work because of this case, because they won't even friggin' hire me at certain places or any places really, because I'm part of the Wales case. And nobody
Um,
trusts me because nobody knows anything about me. Just everybody that's shit on my
oh,
name. That's all
well,
they know.
I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of turd pop suckers in this world. A lot of turd pop suckers in this world that they're on the evil side. Whether they know it or they don't, I don't know. I'm not. I don't try to live other people's lives. I'm too damn busy living my own. But there's a lot of turd pop suckers in this world that they want to stand up with the whales and kiss the backside of the whales, and they want to and some people and and some people maybe they're not turd pop suckers, but
Per Gordon, that's exactly what you did till people started calling you out for trying to get Dawn to be your own. You did the same thing. Hypocrite, antichrist, devil.
when they get up every day, they look in the mirror, they hate who the fuck they are. They hate themselves. So they have to come out here and, hate on everybody else too. I mean, they're looking for somebody to give the shit to because they can't stand to look at their own faces in the mirror. You got so many people ate up with hatred and envy and all of these, and greed and all of these ugly, disgusting things that they need to get rid of. They need to find Jesus and get it ran away from them. but they ain't that smart, right? They ain't that smart. They don't know how to be happy with themselves. They don't know how to count their own blessings because they're
Hold on 1 minute, Pat. Hey guys, my friend had dialysis today. She's not feeling too good. She just woke up. I wanted to go live while she was napping. So I'm going to get off of here 20 minutes early. I told you I'll be back tonight. We'll go over a little bit more of this, but I'm also going to go over a little bit of the Jose stuff. I'm going to have to go back and re-listen to exactly what it was she said that I wanted to compare that to, but I'm going to do that. And I guess I'm going to let my friends know now while I let you guys know. I am actually going home late tonight because of the way my son works tomorrow. I won't be able to get home if I don't. So it'll be a late night live tonight that I come on and we go over the Jose and do a little more of this because I really need to get through a whole nother live of this shit. Oh, thank you, Deb. You're getting prayers, Patty. She said that's nice. Thank you. Yeah, there are two men with the name Frank Light. One's a police officer, actually, little Dev. All right, guys. So peace and love. I'll see you guys late tonight. And yeah, let's get this shit done. At least 2 more lives. I think we should finish the first one, right? All right, guys. Bye.